should be played at high volume. This should be played at high volume. This should be played at high volume. Preferably in a residential area.
The following thoughts on Happy Hour do not represent Cox Media Group or its sponsoring. Anything you hear may and will be used against you. Thank you. Voted as best local podcast in Tampa Bay by the Creative Loafing. You're listening to Happy Hour. You're tuned in to Happy Hour, an hour where Happy rants about something. Sit back and listen in. Happy Hour is on now. Happy Hour is on now.
Yo, what's up? This is Happy Hour. I am your host, Ryan Hoppy, and for the next hour, my goal in life is to change the way you think about things. The way you think about the news right now, I want my opinion to be your opinion after that. That is the goal of Happy Hour, to expand your mind and to appreciate how I speak it like it is. So tweet at me, at Ryan Hoppy Radio. Call us, 856-49-HOPPY. That's 856-49-HOPPY. And you can also chat us live by getting the Hoppy Radio app in the Google Play and iPhone shop by searching up Hoppy Radio, and there is the chat feature. You can hear all 130 interviews I have done since last July and much, much more. But most importantly, we got a good reception from last week when I had my former co-host, Ryan Superrich, from the old Hoppy and Superrich show. I had him on to read the news, so let's welcome him back. What's up, Ryan?
Hey, how's it going?
I'm doing good. Where can people tweet at you?
You can tweet at me at Ryan Stuffridge on Twitter, STUPRICH.
Dude, wasn't it weird doing the show last week? Didn't it feel like we were back at WNUR doing the primetime show of 2 to 5 a.m.? Yeah.
It definitely felt like it, especially with all the stories that we did, including the Ted Cruz one, which was
and
great.
Today is going to be like last week, but even better. We have so much to get into, so let's do it now. Dude, I don't even know why this Ronda Rousey thing of her beating up her boyfriend isn't even being talked about. I'm just hearing about it now, and I work in the media, Ryan. You are a guy that does a podcast at a radio school. Did you ever hear about these Ronda Rousey accusations? Because I had somebody comment when I had the link, and we'll get into it, but I had the link up. She admitted in her book that she beat up her boyfriend, and I guess this has been out for 6 months. I'm pretty well versed in the news, Ryan. I never heard about this. Did you?
No, I never heard about it at all.
I find it dumbfounding. I'm not going to sit here and compare it to Ray Rice beating up his girl in the elevator or to Greg Hardy or to Jason Kidd or whatever. But what we're about to read is just as bad for the woman's sake. You know what I mean? Like, obviously, she's not going to have as much power as a man to do what Greg Hardy did to that innocent woman or to do what Ray Rice did to his wife. But, Ryan, wouldn't you agree with me that she's obviously more ripped and in better shape, and she is more muscular than her boyfriend, so it's easier for her to beat him up? There's a reason why UFC fighters can't get into fights in public, because their power is seen as a weapon, Ryan. That's what is getting overlooked on this, is she's not just some weak woman at a nightclub getting attacked by a boyfriend. She's a professional fighter. It does not matter the genre. It does not matter the gender, rather. You know what I mean?
Right.
I mean, do you see where I'm coming from, dude?
Yeah, I agree. You know, I feel like a lot of people think that, like, domestic violence is just one way. You know, it's just men who are attacking women, but it's the other way around, especially with Ronda Rousey.
Yeah.
Like, it goes both ways.
Like, think about it this way. what she did to her boyfriend. What if a man did that to a woman, and it happens a lot? Is the pain any less because they're a woman? Is the pain any more because they're a man? It's the same thing happening, just a different gender. Throwing someone onto the ground, punching them. Imagine the pain the man was going through. But people will say, oh, he knows how to deal with that. He's a man. If it fucking hurts getting beat up by a UFC fighter, it fucking hurts, Ryan. That's what I don't get about this. She's not some girl at the club getting attacked in an alley, being taken advantage of. She's a fucking professional UFC fighter. She's a movie actor. She should know better. And for her to have the audacity to make this seem like not big of a deal in the book shows the entitlement and shows that she's a fucking bitch, dude. It's ridiculous. And I'm not even trying to be edgy or anything, but Ray Rice is a scumbag, dude. Greg Hardy's a scumbag. Why aren't we calling her out, dude? That's what I find insane about this. You know what I mean? She is a bitch. Someone that beats up their boyfriend, I don't care what they do. You don't put your hands on your significant other. It does not matter if it's a man or a woman. You don't do it, Ryan. It's sickening.
Yeah, I completely agree. It's pretty ridiculous.
So what does the article say?
Put it that way.
I'll have you read the rest of it, but here is the definition of violence between a couple. Here is the beginning article. I love how they wrote this. It has a very big bias, Ryan. I don't know if you noticed that. It's completely on the side of men. There is no part that it's supporting Ronda Rousey. Isn't that funny about the article before I begin reading this? Did you notice that?
Yeah.
It's one of the most biased articles, but it had to be written. It says here, it's a troubling scene. An intimate partner is slapped across the face, punched twice, kneed in the head, and thrown onto the floor. That's like a lesser version of Greg Hardy. And I'm sure she wasn't quiet. Greg Hardy is known for saying the line, I'm going to kill you, you fucking bitch. I'm sure Ronda wasn't saying, ho, sorry about this. Knees him in the face. Sorry about that. Hope it doesn't hurt. Throws him onto the ground. Sorry, babe. I'm sure she was saying swear words. I'm sure it was heated. Just because she's Ronda Rousey, she can get away with it and she's the likable girl. In the fucking Entourage movie, the whole thing was Turtle had to gain a date from her by getting beat up by her. She thinks she's better than everyone because she's stronger than us. It's fucking sickening. It says here, this is the kind of behavior we are looking to amend in the spousal abuse awareness. And yet, few people reacted to this particular situation, even though it was described in an autobiography of one of the biggest MMA fighters. And that was the first paragraph.
Yeah.
So what does it say here?
All right, so it says, Ronda Rousey wrote in My Fight, Your Fight that she slapped her boyfriend across the face, and she says so hard that my hand hurt, punched him in the face, right. So
funny, dude. Her hand hurt. Ha, 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 ha. So funny. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's ridiculous. She punched him in the face with a straight right and then a left hook. So she attacked this guy like it was one of the people that she fights in the boxing ring.
No big deal.
Ridiculous.
Why? Because she's a good-looking woman. She gets away with it. And I'm not sexist. I'm for equal rights. That's why I find this sickening. This is domestic abuse. I don't care if she's worth $50 million and she's good-looking. She beat up her significant other. This is domestic abuse. It wasn't a punch in the face when she didn't want to have sex and he was being aggressive. Ryan, this wasn't like maybe she felt like she was being taken advantage of in a bedroom or somebody was forcing her at a bar. Like, I know it's hard to be a woman at times and you feel like you're being taken advantage of. Like, I'm not going to sit here and say that they have it easy. But the fact that we're overlooking this because she's a woman, it's dumb, dude. She's stronger than her boyfriend. It's a little bit different than some girl that's getting attacked at a club in Ybor City. Like, what the fuck, dude? You know what I mean? She is a bitch. Who beats up their boyfriend? Who beats up their girlfriend? A man that beats up a woman is a douchebag, a dick, a piece of shit. A woman that beats up her man is a bitch, dude. Wouldn't you agree?
Yeah.
No one's saying this.
It goes the same for both men and women.
But it doesn't. It should go the same, but nobody says anything.
Yeah, exactly. And, now that it's Ronda Rousey, everyone's like, oh, but she's a girl and blah, blah, blah and whatever. But, yeah, it's ridiculous. I guess she also grabbed him by the neck of his hoodie, kneed him in the face, and threw him onto the kitchen floor.
That's the female version of Greg Hardy. Greg Hardy had the toilet seat and threw her onto a bed of guns. But, I mean, this is the female version of Greg Hardy. But because she's likable and she was sort of funny in the Entourage movie and she comes off real cute when she crosses her legs on Jimmy Kimmel or Jimmy Fallon and she works the media well, that it's a little bit different. She beat the fuck out of her man. And the fact that we're not reacting to this is the biggest problem with domestic violence, dude. The worst part is this. Can you imagine in, let's say, 2 years, if LeBron James were to write an autobiography and he were to say, yeah, I beat up my wife all the time, and said the exact same things, that he threw his wife so hard on the ground that the hoodie snapped, that his hand hurt afterwards, and that he threw her onto the floor repeatedly? Could you imagine the outrage that would go towards LeBron?
Oh, yeah, there would be tons of outrage. I think everyone would be freaking out. Everyone would be like, oh, see, I never liked him anyway.
But since it's Ronda and she's good looking, it's okay. It says here, is this a case of spousal violence? According to the department, it says here, it is a pattern of abusive behavior that is used by one partner to gain or maintain power and control over another intimate partner. Exactly! Oh my God. Isn't this dumbfounding? It's leaving us speechless. They're getting away with that. What does it say in the next paragraph? I'm in awe.
It says, we simply don't know if there's a pattern here since we hear little from Rousey about this relationship. And Rousey, who was in Australia for her Saturday night fight against Holly Holm, could not be reached for comment that was the fight that happened where she lost, and she acted like a baby and didn't talk to the media for like 3 months.
Yeah, she's really unlikable. I remember when she first came out.
Extremely unlikable.
I remember when she first came out, Ryan. She was okay. Nobody knew who she was, and she was cute because it's like, oh, she wants to make it. And I'm not sexist. I'm saying I found it respectable. I'm like, cool. She's a woman who wants to show her rights, and she's a good fighter. She could kick my ass. I liked it. But now it's like, who the fuck do you think you are just because you're not fucking, what's his name, Floyd Mayweather? And she's the same one that called out Floyd Mayweather last year for beating up his wife.
Right. She does the same thing, and she doesn't. She still probably doesn't see a problem with it. She's like, so what? I beat up my boyfriend.
And she called her boyfriend, it says here, Snappers McCreepy. Okay, I'm sure the guy's a dirtbag. I'm sure the guy's a piece of crap. I'm sure the guy's an imbecile. I'm sure the guy's a cretin. I'm sure he's a bad dude. But can you imagine if a man beat up his woman and he called her Slutty McSlutpants? I'm saying it needs to go equal ways. Okay, I get it.
Right.
Sometimes girls have it a little bit easier in life because they can get taken advantage of easier because they're just not born with the same like muscles and built that we have. So if a girl gets attacked at a club and punches a guy in the face, that's fine, Ryan. Even if the guy's just messing around, okay, it's fine. I get she feels threatened. Everybody at the club wants to have sex with her. It's got to be weird to be a woman. But at the same time, that's the times when they're feeling threatened. What she did is fucking spousal abuse. He felt threatened because you're a UFC fighter. You're not the everyday chick at the nightclub. That's what I don't get about this, Ryan. She's not the everyday chick. If this happened at a nightclub and a girl did this to a man, maybe even then it's okay because it wouldn't hurt as bad. And maybe the guy's trying to grope her or have sex with her. She did the same thing, essentially, that Floyd Mayweather and Greg Hardy and Ray Rice did, but we're not saying anything. It's dumbfounding.
Yeah. And also, if she really doesn't like her boyfriend, Snappers McCreepy, then she should just not date him, and she should have gotten rid of him and dumped him or something. Like now, obviously she didn't like him, and she beat him up. She should have just they should have never been dating in the first place, obviously.
Read the next paragraph for me, because I am so angry I can't read it, dude. It's sickening.
I'm not comfortable with her behavior, said Kim Pentico of the National Network to End Domestic Violence. What I am absolutely not willing to say is she's committed domestic violence without speaking with him and learning more about the relationship.
What? This isn't a girl at the nightclub. We have the proof that she did all of this. She broke her hoodie, threw him onto the ground, beat him up, kneed him in the head. That's domestic abuse. I don't care if she's a male or a female. This is the exact definition of domestic abuse. Kim Pentico of the National Network to End Domestic Violence. Do you really want to end it? Or are you embarrassed that what seemed like a female role model really isn't, Ryan? This is such a double standard. This is the definition of a double standard. If you were to open up a dictionary and look up examples, they would have her quote. This is the biggest double standard. This isn't a girl kneeing somebody. This is a woman who's a UFC fighter, MMA, beating the living crap out of someone, dude. That's domestic violence 101.
Yeah, and I mean, that's the definition of it. And, you know, obviously, this girl is also a woman. She probably can't believe that a woman, you know, was doing domestic violence.
I'm not saying Ronda Rousey's not a woman, but she's got different qualities than the average girl in a nice dress at the nightclub. She's paid to beat the crap out of someone else. She's not like every other girl. She should be held at a higher priority. You know what I mean? Because, Ryan, let's close our eyes. Here's what she did again. I just want to recap. She punched her boyfriend repeatedly so hard in the face that her hand hurts. No big deal. Punched him in the face. Right and then left and then right and left. Over and over with the right and left hook. This is like an MMA fight. And maybe her ex-boyfriend's ripped. Maybe he could have attacked her too. That doesn't make it any better. And then grabbed him by the neck of the hoodie. No big deal. And then kneed him in the face. And then threw him repeatedly onto the kitchen floor. So funny, dude. A woman beat the crap out of a man. A woman whose muscles are a weapon. She beat the shit out of him. So funny, bro. What the fuck? You know what I mean, dude? Like, this is leaving us speechless. We're never speechless. This is literally dumbfounding, and nobody's talking about it. It's like as if the national media and the national sports networks don't want to talk about it because it's an iffy subject. Have this on your debate show. Not, how are the Heat going to do without Chris Bosh, who was never going to come back? Or, what's the legacy of LeBron James on those crappy debate shows on the sports networks I see when I'm at the gym during the day? Have this on here and have a real debate. This is ridiculous, dude. Why am I the person talking about it? I haven't heard anyone talk about it because the media is scared to report on it because it might cause controversy. She beat up her boyfriend. This is domestic violence, dude. And if anything, I don't want anybody saying I'm sexist or I'm defending the man, because I have trashed Greg Hardy. I bashed Roger Goodell. Me and you were doing the old show, Hoppy and Super Rich. I bashed Roger Goodell for covering it. I bashed Ray Rice. So no one can ever say that I'm defending the man. I'm defending the rights we have as humans, that there shouldn't be spousal abuse. If it's a man or a woman, if it's a woman on a woman, a man on a man, anyway, we shouldn't be punching each other. And just because it's a famous UFC fighter doesn't make it any better. Just because she's a famous UFC fighter who was funny in the Entourage movie and who is good looking when she's on the cover of SI. Ryan, it doesn't make it any better, dude. It says here, in fact, Rousey has become a bit of a heroine, a bit of a hero on this subject, as she was applauded for calling out noted spousal abuser Floyd Mayweather after she won an award for Best Fighter from ESPN. Rousey said, and I quote, this is coming from someone that beat the crap out of her boyfriend and who wrote about it in an autobiography. She's proud of it. Snappers McCreepy, Ryan. No big deal. This is what that entitled baby said. Punch me in the face. What are you going to do? Beat me up? Good for you. It says here, I wonder how Floyd feels being beat by a woman for once. What is your take, dude? I'm speechless. She has the ego the size of this planet. Her ego might be bigger than LeBron James. We all crucify LeBron James for leaving Cleveland and going to the Heat. Why aren't we crucifying her? This is a real villain, dude. She's no different than Greg Hardy.
Right. It seems like she doesn't care, and she's not really sorry for what she did. And she was proud of it so much that she wrote it in her autobiography.
All right. And here's what it says,
ridiculous.
too, and I want to explain. Kim Pentacle from the Spousal Abuse National Group, she said this, and I will agree with this. I agree. A woman's fear of a man is different than a man's fear of a woman. I got it. I got it. I'm not saying Ronda Rousey's not a woman, but she has the muscles of a man. This isn't some girl you met on Tinder beating you up, slapping you across the face. This is a UFC fighter. It's kind of like it, the same way, like a man beating up a woman in a way. She's obviously bigger than him, Ryan.
Yeah.
Men don't fear being sexually assaulted. Okay, but that doesn't make this right. She's acting as if Ronda's the everyday chick. I can't specify this enough because she doesn't want to admit, Kim Pentacle, she does not want to admit that Ronda Rousey isn't a role model, dude. She's not. None of these athletes, none of these celebrities, nobody that's famous should be a role model because they're playing a character on the radio, on TV, in theater, in music, in sports. We don't know who they truly are. And this woman, Kim Pentacle, seems to be angry that the person that they thought they could look up to in sports isn't
especially
respectable.
when she's a fighter. Like, I mean, her profession is to beat people up. Like, people like that aren't role models because, because of what they do for a living.
All right. According to a 2010, they did like a big poll, They got all the numbers together from spousal abuse.
Right.
In a 2010 census by the Center for Disease Control and Prevention. So this isn't some Twitter vote. This is the Center for Disease Control and Prevention. They took a lot of time. More than 5 million men had been domestically abused in the prior year in 2009. Not 5, dude. 5 million men. And in the same finding found 40% of cases were perpetrated on men. Snappers McCreepy is one of those men, dude. But just because Ronda Rousey is likable and cute, we put this to the side? You know how embarrassed I felt when I put up the link and everyone's like, this is 6 months old? Dude, I'm in the media and I never heard about this, dude. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Right.
I don't even want to read anymore. It's just sickening. I never, ever will defend a man that beats up a woman because you're a scoundrel, you're a scumbag, you're a piece of dirt, you're a pussy, you're a loser, and you're using your power against a woman. But why is the same thing not being said about Ronda Rousey?
Happy Hour. Happy Hour. NBA D-League coaches, nationally syndicated radio hosts, TV writers, comedians. You never know who will call in a happy hour.
Dude, Ryan, I am out of breath after that last rant, dude. I had to go to the restroom just to, wipe off my face, dude. I was sweating. That Ronda Rousey crap got me so mad, dude.
Yeah, I mean, it's really infuriating that, nobody seems to take it seriously.
And it's one of those things, too, where I feel iffy talking about it. That's why I had to over-explain that anybody who touches their significant other is a scumbag. I don't get it, Ryan. She's an MMA fighter. She could probably give me the worst bruises. There were some female UFC fighters that came to the bone and they punched Spanish in the arm from 102.5 The Bone and a Mike Calta show, and he said it hurts pretty badly. It doesn't matter the gender, dude. It hurts. You're being beat up. Sickening. Call the show. 856-49-HOPPY. That's 856-49-HOPPY. And tweet at me at Ryan Hoppy Radio and at Ryan STUPRICH to hit up Super Rich. All right. What does the next article say?
All right. Well, this is a quote from Jeb Bush. He says, "I will not vote for Donald Trump."
Oh my God. I am so sick and tired of the media. Paul Ryan, I'm not voting. John Boehner, I'm not voting for him. Rubio, I'm not voting for him. Okay, we got it. Nobody's voting for him. How about these politicians? Come up to the plate, quit being such pussies, and actually care about the everyday Americans and say, I will vote for him, and I will support him, because he's running the fucking free world. Quit being so egotistical because he took you out of the race, Jeb Bush.
Right.
Because you came off so antisocial, and you came off so robotic. Sorry that you're one of the biggest busts and one of the most uncreative and unriveting and one of the biggest wimps to ever run for the presidential election. Sorry that he literally bullied you and he literally mocked you. He was spitting on you. It was like Jeb Bush was laying down on the podium and Trump was just spitting on him. He got verbally killed. Same thing with Rubio. I despise Ted Cruz, but at least Ted Cruz talked back to Trump. Rubio and especially Jeb, they came off so robotic, and then Trump's just annihilating them. So how dare Jeb Bush think that we care? And shame on the media for reporting this. Of course he's not going to vote for him. Dude, this is like a Sacramento Kings player saying their take on the NBA playoffs and why the Warriors suck. Sorry. Trump is a winner. You're a loser, Jeb Bush. Like, what are you thinking about this, Super Rich?
Yeah, well, I think it's crazy that all the Republicans are coming out saying that they won't support Trump. And he's the nominee now. I mean, you kind of have to support him if you're a Republican because there's nobody else left. And if he picks a vice president that's good, then I guess that would help because maybe, you know, a vice president, like a good vice president, can calm him down and actually make him sound somewhat intelligent. But I don't know. It's ridiculous. And I mean, all these people should be endorsing him just so they don't look like idiots.
And here's the worst part.
A lot of these people look like idiots.
The worst part is everybody that's saying they're not voting for him, they're proving a point that they didn't want to be president for us. They're proving a point that they didn't want to be leaders of the free world. They just wanted to have the business card that says, I'm the president of the USA. They don't care about us because if they cared about us, they would say, yeah, Trump's a piece of shit. Yeah, he's a scumbag, but we'll work with him. Nobody cares about us. Us middle-class people. Us quote-unquote millennials. There's not a lot of jobs out there. The economy's bad. Things are bad. They didn't want to work with Obama, and if you're not going to want to work with somebody in your same race, we are screwed. So fuck Paul Ryan, screw Jeb Bush, fuck all these guys that don't want to help us. Ridiculous, dude. I feel like we're screwed. And then you have Hillary Clinton making these campaigns about how awful Trump is. Make something about how you're going to fix America, you bland imbecile. Enough of trashing Trump. You're doing what Trump wants. You're giving him the attention. Do you think he's really running for president because he cares about us? Do you really think he's running for president because he wants to fix the economy and he wants to fix Flint's water crisis? Say what you want about Obama. Maybe he never cared about us. He at least acted like he did and he came off likable.
Yeah.
Nobody cares about us. Dude, we're screwed. And I just don't get the people who think that Trump cares. Trump sees this as he's 70 years old, because we don't really realize he's that old. He comes off so youthful. Even though he looks old, he acts like he's 50. He could be dead.
He doesn't look like he's 70. Isn't that crazy?
Well, yeah, dude. He could be dead in 10 years. He's just kind of seen as the last thing he wants to do in life. He's done everything else. He has billions of dollars. So how about somebody in politics? How about somebody come up to the plate and quit being such scumbags with shallow egos, as shallow as a kid's pool? How about somebody come up to the plate and say, I endorse Trump. I despise him. but I am willing to work with him. Why is nobody working together? All these fucking egos. And how are these bums getting placed? I know that that's how politics works, and you get the most robotic nerds from Harvard that are smart. But how is this happening in 2016? Say what you want about Trump, but at least he's genuine. It's nauseating, but at least you know what you're getting. Oh, pieces of shit.
And that's the thing. I mean, the two nominees that we're going to have, Hillary Clinton and Donald Trump, I mean, it's like the worst thing ever.
And I don't get it, dude. I'm speechless that people actually think they care about us. You know what I mean?
Right. Well, it's like crazy because Donald Trump's never been a politician. He's been a reality star and a businessman. And Hillary Clinton's like a fraud, and she's been in so much hot water and so much trouble. And, you know, she's like the biggest liar on the planet. It's ridiculous that these two are the nominees. Like, why would anyone want to vote for any of them?
Yeah, I'm speechless. Tweet at me. At Ryan Hoppy Radio. Call the show. 856-49-HOPPY. That is 856-49-HOPPY. All right, Ryan. Here's what else is going on in the news that I want to talk about. I just had to get that off. About all these imbeciles that don't care about us. All these politicians that won't back Trump. Here's another thing that I don't get. Is the North Carolina governor, known as Pat McCrory. He is being sued over the laws that won't let transgendered people use public bathrooms unless they have the gender on their ID. Dude, this is taking back society hundreds of years.
I know.
Who gives a fuck if you're dressed up in a dress but you have a penis? What is the sacredness of the bathroom? That's what I want to get off, number one. Who cares? It's not like a tranny's going to dump out gasoline and us heterosexuals dump out poop. Everybody poops. That's what I don't get about this, is what's the different part of the transgendered person going into the restroom and using the bathroom? They're going to urinate just like us. They're going to use the toilet paper just like us. Like, out of everything to be offended by, why does the North Carolina governor care about what they're using to go to the restroom, which bathroom it is? You know what I mean, dude?
Yeah, well, and, you know, there's a lot of issues in the world that are, you know, more important and are more of like a pressing issue than this. You know, it's just using the bathroom. If you're using the bathroom, you're only going to be in there for like, you know, 5 minutes at the most. So I mean, it's kind of ridiculous that everyone's freaking out about this, and that North Carolina, that this governor is like going to such great lengths to try to stop it. You know, I think there's probably more important things in North Carolina that he should be doing, I feel like.
Do you have the article loaded up?
Yep.
What does it say?
It says the Justice Department is suing North Carolina over its controversial law banning transgender people from using the bathroom of the gender they identify with. And Attorney General Loretta Lynch condemned the anti-LGBT legislation, which she claims amounts to state-sponsored discrimination and is aimed at a problem that doesn't exist.
And here's what I love too.
Yeah.
Is they're saying the people that don't want transgendered people using the bathrooms unless they have the IDs to prove it. What if they touch my kid? Just because they're transgendered, it's a better chance of them touching your kid. You know how much of a bigot and how much of a piece of shit and how much of an imbecile you come off as when you say that somebody who doesn't feel comfortable in their body, so they're being happy the short time we're on this earth, they're doing what they want to do, that they're going to be more susceptible to touching kids than just a normal dude? I'm not saying that kids being touched doesn't happen all the time in restrooms, but just because you're wearing drag doesn't make it a better chance. If anything, you're not going to want to cause attention because a lot of times they don't always seem confident. If they're in a group and they're at like a gay bar, they seem confident, but don't you sometimes get that vibe that transgendered people, if you're like grocery shopping, they kind of don't look at you, you know what I mean?
Right. Yeah, and I don't understand the correlation between being transgender and touching kids in bathrooms. I don't see the correlation between the two.
They're making it up. They just don't accept the fact that it's 2016 and that it's legal for gay people to get married and that we're going to have the first nude transgendered person on the cover of SI. And you will never, ever hear me break that down because I despise Caitlyn Jenner and there's no reason to give her attention.
You and me both. You and me both.
Well, here's what I don't get about Caitlyn Jenner before we get back to the article. It's great. We seem to forget that she was a part of a manslaughter when it was Bruce. No big deal. Someone's mom is dead, a mother of four, because she was on her phone back then when it was Bruce. No big deal. Whatever.
Yeah, I mean, she's a murderer. She should be in jail.
She should get something. No, she's a Kardashian. Whenever Kardashians touch anything, they get away with it. Whatever. Sex tape, whatever. Getting OJ off for murder, whatever. Fucking sending a text while driving, whatever. You know what I mean? So what does the article say? Getting back to this.
Yeah, she insisted, this is the Attorney General, she insisted that the law only serves to harm innocent Americans.
Exactly. It makes you feel like crap.
Right. And she says the law states that transgender people must use the bathroom that conforms with the gender on their birth certificate, and that's what the North Carolina guy is saying. And since it was introduced in March, the ruling has sparked statewide demonstrations while a host of celebrities and companies have announced a boycott on North Carolina until the law is repealed.
I just don't know how Pat McCrory looks himself in the mirror. I don't know how he wakes up every day and he says, I'm discriminating against innocent people who don't feel comfortable in their own body. I bet you this creep, this moron, this piece of dirt, this scumbag is the guy that looks up the weirdest porn. He probably is into bukkake. He's probably into gangbang porn, DPs. He's probably the guy that is so horny and he's so unhappy in his traditional marriage that he wants to see other people be unhappy because it's not normal to now want transgendered people to use a restroom. It's where you take a shit. It's where you piss. It's where you wash your hands and you go about your day. There's no kid touching between them. They just have to poop after eating fucking Chipotle. God fucking damn it, dude.
Yeah, and I mean, how many, I don't understand. Are there like that many, is there a lot of examples of transgender people making people uncomfortable in bathrooms? I don't see where that many people are upset about it. It's just him. He's upset about it.
And yeah, it's a good point. I've met some transgendered fans of 102.5 The Bone, and my ex-girlfriend also liked that her friend, who was a tranny, went from being a man to a woman, that I referred to her as a she. And all the Bone fans seem to appreciate that I refer to them as what they feel like they are, what they're dressing up as. Because if they want to do that with their body, Ryan, who cares? They're human. They have a brain. They poop. They get angry. They laugh. Just because they're not comfortable in their own body doesn't mean they're not human. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's sickening, dude.
Yeah, and it's it's a small portion of the country. It's not it's not like half of the people in the country are transgender. It's like 1% maybe or something like that. I think the country is 5% homosexual or something like that. So I think it's like 1% are transgender. So it's not a big deal.
Yeah. Is there anything else in this article?
Not really. It just goes into all the riots that are happening in North Carolina. I guess a lot of celebrities have canceled their tours, and a lot of singers that have canceled their tours in North Carolina and stuff. I heard about that.
Speaking of that, governors and people that are presidents, mayors, whatever, councilmen, the point of being elected is to help make money for the towns and to help improve things, It's supposed to be for us, right?
Yeah.
What's the name of the NBA commissioner? Adam Silverman, right? Adam Silver.
I think it's just Adam Silver, yeah.
Yes. He is potentially taking the NBA game next year in February. out of Charlotte because of this rule. So the biggest city in North Carolina is potentially losing the NBA All-Star game because of transgendered people not being allowed to use the bathroom that they want to use. Say that sentence over and try not to laugh at how fucking comical this is. Get over yourself, you piece of dirt, Pat McCrory. Who do you think you are? How do you look yourself in the mirror after you take a dump and you go, oh, transgendered people shouldn't be allowed to go in? You know what, dude? Like, what are you getting out of this? Do you sleep better at night? Do you pray better at church because you feel like you're discriminating these humans and you feel like you're accomplishing something? At the end of the day, it's just people who don't feel comfortable in their own body. At the end of the day, it's just people that have to go to the restroom. And at the end of the day, we're all equal. We're all going to die. And should we really waste the time that we get on planet Earth in this short life? Should we really waste the time talking about transgendered people not being allowed to use the restroom? How do you look yourself in the mirror, you piece of dirt?
Happy Hour. Happy Hour. Live from Tampa Bay, you are tuned in to Happy Hour.
Did you like that booing, Ryan? Get it? Because they didn't like the show? Get it?
I guess we don't have many fans, huh?
Call the show. 856-49-HOPPY. That's 856-49-HOPPY. Tweet at Ryan Superrich, at Ryan SUPRICH. Tweet at me, at Ryan Hoppy Radio. Chat us live via the Hoppy Radio app. If you're listening live, you can get it in the Google Play and iPhone shop. Search up Hoppy Radio and much, much more. Email me, ryanhoppyradio@gmail.com. Speaking of 856-49-HOPPY, Ryan, we got a few things that people left us in between the break. We listened to them in between the break to make sure that they were clean, but here they are. All right. Here's the first one. And it's from 853-856, and I won't give out the rest.
Ryan Hoppy. What's up, bro? You're talking about Ronda Rousey. How do you know that he wasn't beating her up and she didn't do anything for a very long time? And then one day she just snapped and beat his ass.
Very, very valid point, Ryan. You like that point? Very valid. It has a lot of heart. It has potential, but there weren't any signs of Ronda Rousey looking that beat up. There weren't any signs that the same thing happened of being whipped on the ground repeatedly, being punched in the face with both hooks. I've looked at her previous boyfriends. They look like muscleheads. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying she's going out with wimps uncoordinated like me. I'm not saying that she's not going out with muscleheads that can fight. But trust me when I say I think these muscleheads are more just ripped and wearing tight shirts and they're more for the looks. I don't think they could go into a ring, Ryan, and fight a female MMA fighter. Call me crazy. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe her ex-boyfriend, Snappers McCreepy, maybe if you put him in the ring, maybe he could beat up Holly Holm. You never know. Maybe I'm wrong. But I kind of get the vibe that she might be stronger than them, and she left much more bruises than he potentially left on her. I wasn't there, because the next voicemail from the same guy called. Here's what else he said.
Hey, Hoppy. You're talking about Ronda Rousey beating up her boyfriend. You weren't there, dude. How do you know he wasn't slapping her around and shit? It takes two to fight, bro.
Maybe he punched her, but she could have easily walked away, just like Ray Rice. How about we don't punch each other? You know what I mean? That's my whole point. I don't care.
And if they didn't like each other, then why were they still together? But that's the thing I don't understand. Like, obviously, they don't like each other. So why didn't, they move on? Why didn't he dump her, or why didn't she dump him?
All right, here's the last voicemail that I got.
Well, I was enjoying the show so far, so I don't know if I hate you or love you, but anyway, I'll be listening for a little while. Have fun. Later.
That basically describes my persona. on 102.5 The Bone whenever I bring in bits, or I try, that describes my persona on Rover's Morning Glory or WNUR or the radio school or the show now. You really don't know what to think of me because I'm nice off air, but when I get really mad, I rant. Wouldn't you agree, Ryan?
Yeah. I guess that's sort of a good way to describe it.
All right, before we end the show, what's going on with Good Morning America's Ginger Z?
All right. Apparently, she has a lot of online trolls that have sent her cruel abuse and labeled her as a bad parent for doing Dancing with the Stars just months after giving birth.
She needs to have some free time. What is the difference between her Dancing with the Stars and what is the difference with some mom that goes out on the town and has fun and gets a babysitter? I don't think the kid's in the cradle shitting itself by herself. She makes good money. She obviously has a nanny. She's obviously there for the kids. Do you think she's dancing 24/7? Do you think she's not caring about the kid? I grew up watching Ginger Z because we always had the NBC Morning News on. She's a likable person. I never met her. She seems like a great person. I don't think she's neglecting the kid. And for these pussies and these trolls to hide behind a keyboard and say that to a mother of kids, I don't care if she's on Good Morning America or if she lives in a trailer park. To imply that she's not a good mother, they would never, ever say it to her face because they're antisocial losers who for once feel like they have an outlet to say something. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and I mean, I've never seen Dancing with the Stars, and I don't plan on it, but I mean, it doesn't matter. Like, you know, she spent a couple months with her baby. She hired a nanny, or she has a husband, or whatever. I'm not sure, but she felt like that she could leave her baby to go on Dancing with the Stars.
Okay, it says here.
Yeah, I mean, I don't see a problem with it.
She's neglecting her child because you want to dance. Shut up. It's a reality show, and I'm sure she's there for 10 hours. The 4-month-old. What are you supposed to do? You think she's leaving it at home? It's not like it's a 5-year-old in kindergarten that has to be taught. It's basically an alien that shits itself. It's nothing revolutionary. It's not like she's ditching a 16-year-old that's pregnant. It's a 4-month-old. I don't think when the 4-month-old reaches 12 in what year, 2028, I don't think he's going to be screwed for life because his mom went on a reality show. So shame on these idiots for hiding behind a keyboard. What does it say in this riveting article?
It says, if you are a mother, then you know. Mommy shaming is real and a tough thing to endure. And not only are celebrity moms not immune from the torrent of abuse, but often they are even harder hit by judgment. And that's the case with Dancing with the Stars' Ginger Z. And she went on a People Mom Talk series, and the 35-year-old ABC meteorologist revealed that she is frequently harassed online for her parenting choices and finds it very difficult to turn away each time she receives a new comment. And,
I would love to see these trolls try and parent. Oh, I bet you're so much better than Ginger Z. You know what?
I bet they're great parents, Ryan.
Shut up! Shut up!
All of them are better parents than her, right?
They could literally change a diaper better than Ginger Z. They know how to scold kids. I bet they don't even know how to get the skid marks off of their underwear, you creeps. Anything else in the article?
Not much. She says it's hard for her to turn away from the criticism. I don't know. I feel like it should be easier. I would just ignore it if I was her.
And if Ginger Z is listening, I've been a big fan since NBC5. You're very talented, but also realize this. Maybe they have said it to your face at a bar or when you're out in public. Then they're imbeciles. But I got the vibe, and I'm pretty sure, Ryan, that they haven't said this to her. Because these are losers who don't have any social skills. These are losers who would never say it to your face. These are losers who are unhappy with their marriage. These are losers who have nothing going on with their life. These are losers who are sitting on the couch while you're dancing on TV and you're a good weather woman and you're a good mother. These are losers who don't care about their kids. No normal human being trashes another mother on TV. I don't care if she's on TV or not. The fact that you would hide behind a keyboard, and the fact that you would even think that you have the audacity to criticize someone else's mother, you need to look yourself in the mirror and say, what am I doing with my life and where is it going? Because if you're spending the time of day you have tweeting at a weather woman from Good Morning America about her parenting skills, then you have a lot of problems, buddy boy.
Happy hour. Happy hour.